Hi guys, so welcome to this impromptu activation video. For today's activations, what we're going to do is, thank you, focus on your clairs, like your clairvoyance, your clairsentience, your claircognizance, your clairgustance, which is your taste. Interesting, right? Clairaudience, the hearing, right? So I guess any activations, right? Any activations that you need on an individual level and that we all need collectively will be channeled through today. So later I will put out a more of a very targeted Claire video and give you a little bit of a tutorial as well. But just for the sake of getting everything done now, let's jump right in. Make sure that you're drinking water, and after this, because we're going to be doing a lot of clearing of the senses, the energy's already starting to come in. I do feel some of you may have clicked on, and now I'm feeling that energetically your spirit's like it's not time for that for you, right? So if you find yourself interrupting this video or being interrupted at any time, then most likely it's not the time for you to have this clearance, okay, or this clearing or this activation, so to speak. But for the rest of you, and of course not, but for the rest of you, let's get started, okay? And it's okay if you don't feel anything. All right, so I'm just gonna get a little quiet. Okay, so we just did a quick clearing of your space. I'm just gonna go ahead and seal the energies. Okay. So you're all plugging in now. Okay, the energies are coming in. Okay, some of you are done. I think you'll know who you are. Okay, so the downloads have been downloaded. So now they are blessing those centers, and you may start to feel energies moving upward within your field, within your body, as they acclimate into your individual systems. And if you don't feel anything, it's okay. They're showing an image of a cherry for somebody here, so cute. And a banana for somebody. So let's talk a little bit about these energies as they continue to flow in or flow in. Some of you will not know how to use these abilities at first. Please do not worry. They will manifest and be made available to you and aware to you. Oh, excuse me. Oh gosh. You know, I always yawn with these energies. And be made aware to you in the right timing and setting, because some of you still need to have a certain experience in the physical in order to have the context or the framework within which to understand the energies that have been downloaded, but they are with you now. And some of you are just getting a little bit of a sprucing up. You already have these abilities open and you're here, and it's going to just kind of give you an update of your abilities. Some of you have some programming that is, it feels like old religious programming. Some of you have imposter syndrome. Who am I to think that I could step into these abilities? All of these things are deep-seated, so you're going to want to look at some of those energies, and you will be made aware if that relates to you, okay? For those of you who, everyone, let's do this together. Let's activate these palm chakras. All right, it's already starting to activate. Some of you are being given clearance, let's say, to charge for your work. You're getting these activated. Remember, everyone can activate their palm chakras so that they can do healings for themselves, right? But when you start to do healings for other people, when the energy is flowing properly, and you know, it's like, hey, anyone can try to heal someone else, but you know, some people will be ordained, so to speak, to do this. And for those of you, you know, yeah, for everybody, let's get this activation going, that some of you will be able to take it further. You might feel some energy coming up. Excuse me, that was some, as the throat chakra is being cleared, because what's happening is, for those of you who are being ordained now or licensed, initiated, whatever you'd like to say, to be able to work with certain frequencies of energies, you just took an oath at a higher level, is what I felt. And so that energy just came through the throat chakra here in our physical, okay? And what is the oath? It's basically, I wasn't there. I mean, I'm getting it, but basically to, yeah, to stand by your mission is what they're saying, to be of service. Suddenly getting, excuse me, excuse me, very sleepy. So they're going to induce a little bit of a trance state for us right now. So let's just get a little height. You may lie down if you're not already. They're clearing old programming. So if you see any nightmarish images, get any sensations that scare you, all of that old programming, it's coming up, okay? That's all it is. They're releasing the images that we have made, the projections we have made. And in its place, once it's done arising, you will feel, some of you, and perceive of a lot of light. Some of you may be feeling frustrations come up right now. Those are all the things that are being taken out. Oh, excuse me. Always makes me yawn. Some of you are receiving some past lifetime aspects, thank you, that carry these codes, carry the commitment to higher service, all of these things. So they come, it comes with the territory, okay? So you may experience this as work ethic down here, but energetically, these are past lifetime aspects that are well honed when it comes to these spiritual gifts that you are stepping into. All right. Please know that if you misuse any of these gifts, they will be, I don't want to say, my conscious mind doesn't want to say they will be taken away because my conscious mind doesn't believe it, but I am channeling. And so they will, your gifts and your usage of these energies will be monitored. Let's put it that way. And they will be, you will be held to a certain standard, okay? It doesn't mean, you know, I'm just going to leave it at that. That's what they're saying. Okay. Makes sense if you are enlisting. If you're being of service, excuse me, you are going to be held to a higher standard, okay? A standard of ethics. And this is all something your higher self has signed up for. It's your soul contract, okay? So one of the things that I do when I do energy work and healing, including all of this, for me personally, there's always the underlying intention that any energies that are not going to serve the person or that will, you know, hurt them in any way, which I don't do that, but will be automatically nullified. And, you know, that's all there is to it. So it's, yeah. And so I think this is kind of that energy that I'm getting. Okay. What else? I'm being asked by some of you guys if you can charge for this. And if you can charge for healing with your, you know, with your abilities. And the answer to that is going to really depend on you and your specific soul contract and what your work is. And, you know, I do know that spirit does work through us for free a lot of times. So we do give a lot of things for free, but there are some things that are paid, and that's something you would have to connect with your own individual guidance for. But there is no restriction for when it comes to charging. I feel for your, it's, you know, that's an old outdated belief, like, oh, you're a healer, you shouldn't make money. That's an old outdated belief. I would say to connect with your individual guides to see how and when. Okay, so the guides are now bringing in a lot of energy. Some of you may be feeling as though you're being flushed out, and so that's what they're doing. It's kind of like, you know, if you get a haircut and then you've got all the little shavings and then they have to blow it off and then you go and take a shower so that they can all come off. So right now we're just clearing. Thank you guys. That was them who just said that. Right now we're just clearing, you know, the refuse, any refuse that's there. Any self-hatred as well. Well, that's a big one. Excuse me. Wow, that's a big one. Any self-hatred, any low self-worth, feeling like you're an imposter, not having a can-do attitude, things like that. All of that is being cleared now. It's going out with the bathwater, they're saying. All right. They are now, it's almost like pressing the little pink on switch now for us, like, you know, like, well, let's see if the Christmas lights work, plug it in and let's see. Right. So we're gonna do a little bit of they're doing a little bit of a calibration now, okay? Um, we're spot checking, they're saying. They're like running through everybody. You're just checking to see. Okay. Getting they don't even want me to give you a number. A few of you, not most of you are, you're good to go. You're on point. A few of you, they're just helping you individually right now to get some stuff up and running. How exciting. They're excited. Mass activations. How fun. Yeah, mass activations. We're heading to the feet now. Wow, I didn't expect that. We're heading to the soles of your feet where you do have your other chakras. They're heading there now. They're just going to do some tweaking. Some of you might feel a little something. So just 1 second. Let's focus on that. Excuse me. Excuse me. Lots of energy down there. Old past lifetime energies that are causing reflexes in this lifetime, knee-jerk reactions, fear of being persecuted, right? So we're just going to release those because remember, these are gifts that would have gotten you killed in in the past. And maybe still in some places in the world today, but this is all old programming. So we're just going to go ahead and release it all now. Okay, hold on. You're being encouraged to have more greens, you know. Yes, green juices are okay. I felt someone asking. Yes, 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 yes. And limes, they're saying, yes, okay, limes. I bet some of you are like, oh my gosh, I just bought a bag of limes. Yes, because, right? Limes, we're also at a level now. I am feeling some deceptive energies within some of your fields. So please know that when you're active, when you're working on in this capacity at this high level of a frequency, you are going to be asked to watch the level of deception that you're carrying for with yourself. And of course, we are always working on our self-deception and denial and all of that thing, all of that. But I'm talking about integrity, being in a space of low integrity. So this is the homework. Spirit is going to be pushing you to clean some of these things up, okay? So that you can be fully functioning and at the level and at the frequency to be able to really, pump this out. Otherwise, you are creating a little bit of a, there's a tension there because these are high frequency energies and then you've got these low energies. We're all carrying low energies, especially in the subconscious, but just letting you know, there are some of you here. So you're going to need to watch that. You'll know if it's you because how it comes out in the physical is, it might be through your business practices, it might be telling little white lies, little fibs, not telling the whole story, things like that. So watch for that. Also deservability in the extreme, like, well, I'm just going to do this because I deserve this because they actually didn't pay me with whatever, that all of that stuff is a huge no-no, huge no-no with the level of energies that are coming in. All right, so they're definitely letting you know right now. And spirit is very vocal. They will let you know. So I guess I'm kind of also letting you know in a nice and gentle way. They said to tell you. So that's what they're saying. things are always being meted out, METED, meted out anyway. So while you're here to receive, we're doing like a mass plug-in right now. It's mass activation. Once you all, God bless you, head off to your own respective places that you are still going to be monitored in the way that you use these gifts. The way, and it's not, it is because you're not just activating your gifts like anybody could, you're also in employ to something higher, right? So as much as we might be like, what does that even mean? Just trust me, it means something. You're divinely by soul contract, you're on mission work. So it's employment. Hi, I'm HR, pretty much, I guess, human resources. So I'm just helping to bring all of these energies in and reminding you to be in your right state of mind as much as you can be. And that means a commitment to staying centered and a commitment to being as in the light with your practices as possible. Do not be afraid to give away free work. Do not be afraid to work pro bono. Do not be afraid, right? But at the same time, do not be afraid to ask for what you're worth. But please remember that at the end of the day, you're here to help others, okay? You're not here to make this a cash grab. You're not here to completely find out how you could be rich and retiring in 5 years, right? So be mindful about what it is that you are getting into, and that is what you knew before you came in. So I'm literally just reminding you. But remember that when we do this work, we are taken care of. You are taken care of. Your needs are cared for, and we also have our own soul lessons and curriculum that we need to follow as well for our individual growth. Okay, so just do your best. It's so cute. They just literally pulled us all in like zoop. So if you felt like like suddenly filled, like if everybody's like in your face, it's because it's like pulling it in for a group hug and you know, just yeah, mass activation. We did it. Kind of energies shaking us all out. The feet are still a little dripping wet from the energies and the clearings and the cleansings that they're doing. Yeah, thank you. They're so sweet. They're like full body ordaining. Yeah, it's adorable. Yeah, pretty much full body, top to bottom and inside, right? So any questions? Let me see, any questions from you guys? Because you're all here already. Any questions? I heard someone said, why am I here? Well, surprise, you've been selected for work. If you the people who are like, why am I here? You're probably watching this video like, how did this end up in my feed? Or maybe somebody just gifted you a set of cards and you're like, what? Or you saw something in the new on TV about Reiki or something, and you're like, wow, I don't usually do this. This is not something I usually do. But yeah, so your energy is like, well, why am I here? Am I able to do this? The answer is yes. If you are watching this video, even if you stumbled upon it, you are you're set. You're all set, and just wait for your wait for your orders, so to speak, I guess. Just see how things develop and continue on with your life. Practicing good spiritual self-care, which means doing your inner work, staying centered, shielding, all of that stuff. And yeah, you can easily look online. How do I shield myself? This is energetic self-care, right? And a lot of you will be working in some capacity. It may not necessarily be in the healing arts, so to speak, like this, but you would be still a conduit for these energies. Maybe you're working in civic service, right? Civil service, and maybe you're working at the post office, maybe you're whatever, but you're still an energetic channel for these energies to come through. So technically you're doing double duty, okay? You've got a day job and then you've got this other job that you may not need to do anything more for, but do try to watch your diet as well, guys. Okay. Any other questions? I heard, can I take my partner with me? So maybe if you're waking up to your abilities and you're getting onto a certain trajectory, can I take my partner with me? That is a question best left for personal reading. And I do feel that some of you may already know that it's referring to you because your partner may not support this kind of thing, or you may feel like as you're growing in your awareness and as you're growing in your interests, your interest in doing other things, maybe things that you shared with your partner is starting to wane. Like, wow, I used to really, we met over UFC, you know, our Ultimate Fighting Championship, and we would always go. But now that I'm opening myself up to these energies and I'm healing and I'm doing all this, I'm, you know, it's so harsh for me now. And you know, we always bought season tickets, and how's this going, right? So whatever, your lifestyle may start to change, and so it really is going to depend on yes, your specific curriculum, the guides are saying, because as you know, when you do these mass activations and these initiations and these clearings, your frequency rises, and then you're working with higher frequencies. And so if you were if the frequencies around you, you know, a place of employment, your home space, your relationships and connections, if they don't accord with the level of frequency that you're at, of course they're going to fall out of alignment with you. And that's when you see people moving places, and they lose their jobs, or they quit their jobs, or the relationship ends however it ends, or friends lose touch and all sorts of stuff. It's because there's a change in frequency. So that's a very good question, but remember that that's going to be dependent on you for personal reading, and you can call me, but you can also ask your guides or meditate or seek out other services. But or you can just wait and see and set the highest of intentions and really work to collaborate and see how that goes. Collaborate with your honey bun. Yeah, I definitely got for some of you. Wow, that was very strong. So quite a few. Maybe you're with somebody and their mother is not approving of the work that you do, and you're nervous because of that angle. That angle, because maybe the mother has the ear of your significant other. And yes, it's the same. I know now we're getting into details, and we don't have to get into details. It's the same policy, right? So just yeah, do your best, as they say. Diet is very important. The guides are saying, watch the cheese. No, dairy. I love dairy. Dairy is a natural block to your clairs, your clairvoyance, your, you know, all of that stuff. So do avoid overconsumption of dairy. And remember, what we consider to be overconsumption may actually not be, may actually be well over overconsumption. Maybe what you consider to be a little bit like, I'm just eating this and that, maybe for your specific body, that's too much. Okay, so you might have to just, I can't say it myself. I can't say it. I can't say go without dairy. I mean, the cheese. What are we doing? Cheese, creamer for the coffee. But yes, alas, they speak of these things. All right, anyway, so dietary changes, and yes, of course, working out. Any other questions? Question? Somebody's like, why are we doing this? why are we doing it? It's all in the welcome packet, you know. You choose. Thank you for that question. These are your spirits, guys, at a little bit of a higher level, still at your consciousness, but just a little bit higher. Why you're doing this? That's a really good question. You have to, of course, let me stop eating my hair, excuse me. You have to come up with your why, but your soul has its own reasons for doing this, right? So the quick answer to your question is to align with your highest self. How do you do that? You get quiet, you turn everything off. You might be hearing a little bit of a sound because I have this heater just blasting at me, but turn off all your sound, get quiet, get comfortable, get warm, and really go inward and really just feel. And if you fall asleep, it's completely okay. That's what your body needed, but the work is still being done. But also think, what would you like to do? For me, why I do this is because I love helping. I love helping, and I love doing energy work. And I've always been of the mindset that if I'm around and somebody needs some energy, please, spirit, just send them to me. And that's what I do. And so my reason is different, and maybe you might have a different reason as well. For some of you, thanks to guides are pointing out, for some of you, you may have witnessed friends or family members who have been ill, who have passed on, unfortunately, or who live their lives trapped in certain mentalities and thoughts and whatnot. And so you would love to do anything to help people to get out of that space, right? To elevate themselves, to elevate their consciousness, to feel free and liberated in mind, spirit, and body, whatever it is. And of course, you know, some of you, if you're, yeah, good one, guys, good one. You're like, you notice how you didn't mention money at all, right? Yeah. So well, it would be, I mean, it would be nice. I mean, I'm not, you know, but yes, it wasn't my first thought. But so spirit is kind of showing, yeah, there has to be a reason. Your yes has to be strong, and your yes and your why has to be grounded in a service to others. This doesn't mean you can't get paid for what you do. It doesn't mean you're not allowed to. It doesn't mean that at all. You can totally get fabulously wealthy, but it's not about the money. It's about being of service to others. And that's all I could say. And, but of course you also have your own stuff like, hey, wouldn't it be nice to have, you know, a new cappuccino machine, a new Mercedes, a new whatever, a home, a house, to get my family out of debt, to get myself out of debt, whatever it is that you want is fine. But also remember, at the very least and at the core, there has to be a desire to be of service, because that's the heart connection. That's why otherwise, what are we doing? What are we doing? Charlatanism? Like, come on, guys. Anyway. Okay. Any other questions? How long will it take to develop these skills? Like, I feel like the person or the energy that just asked me was a Capricorn. I don't know why. How long will it take to develop? Well, let's put it this way. I find, God bless, that spirit likes to use you as you grow. So think of it just as a lifelong thing. Like, well, I'm going to be of service until I transition. Now, what form that service takes, you know, maybe you'll have a business at some point, maybe you won't, maybe you'll just do it for friends and family, maybe you'll help strangers, whatever it is, it's you're constantly evolving, you're constantly pivoting and responding to the needs of people. And so, yeah, and in terms of how long it'll take for your skills to develop, it's always going to be developing. But remember that your skills can develop and open up only as quickly as your conscious framework, your mentality can go. So if you're stuck in a very limited belief about what it should look like, what things are, you know, am I doing good things, all of that stuff, you're just limiting yourself. So personally, what I've always said to myself is, well, I can do anything. If somebody comes before me and they say, I need this to be done, I'm not going to say, well, I don't know. I'm just going to do whatever needs to be done. You're here in front of me. There's a reason why. And that's all there is to it. So keep yourself open as far as your abilities, because you have no idea who you are, to be honest, at this conscious level. So just know that there's a reason why you are here and pursuing this line of action. Okay. I just got, there's a fear-based question. Will I be slapped down? Will you be slapped down? That's totally past lifetime thinking. That's totally conditioned thinking. In past lifetimes, people who had natural healing abilities, AKA everybody, right, to different degrees, of course, they were seen in negative lights. People were afraid, all that stuff. Today, it's just a different mentality altogether, especially depending on where you live. Just be yourself and do what's comfortable for you. You don't have to do anything that's not comfortable for you. You don't want to work today, don't work. You don't want to be with a certain client, don't do it. Something's off, follow it, right? So it's really up to you. Think about it as like, hey, it's your graduate student. Here's your graduate student project, and you have advisors, but you know, here's your grant money. Go ahead and, you know, stay within the confines, the parameters, but it's up to you how you would like to structure your stuff. Maybe you just want to be there for your children and help them grow and be able to care for them, and you know, yeah, it's up to you guys. All right, anything else? Oh yeah, good question. Will there be growth periods where I'm just blown apart and I'm just like, That's life, yes. Whether or not you're working as a light worker or your abilities are online, you will always have times in your life where you are going through the dark night of the soul, where you are attracting things to learn from. So yes, the growth continues. It's always going to continue. That's all it is. While we're here on this planet and we're helping, and we're helping each other to elevate each other, elevate ourselves, ourselves included, but we are working with a higher level of our templates are more. I didn't even have the language. It's like I'm feeling, and what are the English words? We are, I want to say our frequencies are higher. We're more in tuned, attuned, awakened. We're more plugged in. We're more online. Thank you. Let's go with that. It's always computer language that comes through. Go figure. We're more online than a lot of people would be. The guides are like, that's it. That's it. That's it. You're more online. Yeah. Bringing you online, guys. You plugged in and we did this download and now we're having the Q&A after. But yes. Anyone else have questions? Oh, good one. Am I safe? Am I safe from... This is a very, 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 very interesting question. I'm feeling my feet starting to get a little afraid. I mean, not my feet. I'm picking up on the energy. That's what I want to tell you guys. Some of you may have in past lifetimes, you're just doing this again, right? You've done this already in past lifetimes. Some of you may have, I don't want to say this because some of you are going to be like, oh no, I'm scared. This is not for you if it's not for you. But for some of you in particular, somebody's asking, of course yeah. Some of you may have dabbled, or some of you may have been actually pretty advanced. And when you dabble, you get into things you don't know, and you're like, oh, this is scary, right? Especially if it's darker things, you may have encountered some stuff. So you're safe, you're fine here. The angels, the guides are here. That was a past. You've gotten yourself cleared. They're not going to anoint you again if you're like carrying all this low vibe stuff. Right? And you wouldn't be in this video, I'll tell you. I wouldn't be watching this video. For those others who may have been, you're very advanced in what you did, right? And when you're very advanced, you're more aware of what's out there, and you are more, Professor Dumbledore, he knew. He still had to take defense against the dark arts classes, right? Didn't he, when he was young, didn't he even teach one year? I can't remember. But the point is, but you don't have to dwell in that. And when you practice and you're in your light and you're being purposeful and intentional, and you're like, I'm going to focus on this healing and being of service here, you're not dwelling in anywhere you shouldn't be, right? So it's just an energetic frequency thing. So watch what you eat, because your energy fluctuates depending on what you eat. Watch your mood, right? Watch your substances that you're consuming, because they all, affect your energy field. As recreational as they are, they affect your energy field. And I hate to tell you, I know some people are like, shut up, Jonelle. I'm just saying, right? This is not a right or wrong, but be mindful that it affects your field. Also, the shadow energies that you're having, always keep doing your inner work, because you've been conditioned with all sorts of stuff from past lifetimes. So we want to just clear and keep healing, and you'll be fine. It's just, yeah, focus on self-growth, and that's it. Stay in your lane, as I like to say, hashtag stay in your lane. All right, anything else? Any other questions? I want to keep this video, well, I wanted it to be quick, but it's okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm just checking. Thank you. There will be some calibrations of your abilities, so keep an eye out for that. Your guides will be sending you signals. So what they do is it's like taking the eye test, right? Taking the ear test, taking all of that. They'll send you information And then they'll look to see, did they get it? Did they get it? Did they get it? Did they see it? Did they hear it? Did they, right? So just do your angels and guides a favor, your doctors, because it's a medical team, just do them a favor over the next week, the next 7 days, whenever you're watching this. And if you perceive of a sign or something like, oh, I think I heard that. Oh, I saw that leaf falling, but something about it seemed different. There was an energy about it, right? Sometimes they're doing all of these to see what you notice, to fine tune, right? To tune you in, and you will not be fine. You will not be. I'm getting that they're not going to tune. Like this is like the level of the clairaudience. I was like out here, but they're not going to tune you into something that's too some big dimension or major dimension until you're ready. And yeah, okay. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. They're also going to be testing your abilities to channel. Some of you will be speaking. So notice I'm a channel. How I channel is I hear them and they are speaking through me, or I could be my higher self, I suspect, because our our humor is very similar, but at the same time, the words are not minced at all, at all. So everything I do, every chuckle, every move I make plays some type of role. So I'm in the zone right now, technically, but they will like check to see how clear of a channel you are is what they're saying. Also, remember when this information comes through, it passes through you and your lens. So the more objective you can get, the more balance within yourself you can get, the less judgmental you can be about things in general, the more clear of a channel you can be. But please know that anytime things are coming through a human being, it is going to be distorted to a certain degree. As the Tao says, the Tao that can be expressed is not the real Tao. In other words, if we can sit here and talk about God or all that is, or source or whatever, we're not really commenting on the real thing, because we can't conceive of the real thing because of our human limitations. That's it, plain and simple. But within this framework of humanity and the human state of being, we can have discussions, and we can, and there does come a point where you can't even use words to describe anything anymore. It's like when someone, remember that meme with the guy who's like, he's like an older male, and he's like crying. If you see like a baby, newborn baby, and it moves you to tears, you have no words. My words have failed me. The beauty is so much, right? So that's just a quick example that is within the realm of human experience of how words fall flat, so to speak. Okay. So anyway, let me check my time here. Oh, okay. So anyway, guys, so this was just a quick, very casual, impromptu, but very very powerful activation. So so they are doing whatever needs to be done for you, but later at a certain time, so no one's sitting here getting all their clairs activated. It's going to be way too much. Okay, way too much, but you are getting your updates and your tunings wherever you need. So let's thank the angels, thank our guides, thank our medical team, thank our higher selves, and of course, thanks Source Energy. And yes, just checking for any last minute things. If you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to me through email, but you can also just leave the questions on in the comments below. That's quick and easy, all in one place. I'm all over the place, so it would be nice to keep it all in one place. And of course, if you're looking for more personalized services, you can look at my Etsy shop. All of that information's there. I do, well, I do everything that you need, I guess. And if not, I'd let you know. All right. So thank you so much, you guys. Make sure that you're drinking a lot of water. Stay focused on listening and feeling. Remember clairsentience, feeling, and just, seeing what you see and you're getting, and verbalize it to your team. And I got that. I got that. And if it wasn't something they sent, they'll find a way to let you know. So please do. So thank you so much for choosing to come online with us. Okay, bye. Enjoy.